So way back in September of 2011, DC Comics rebooted all their titles and put out 52 new #1 issues. In this video series, I'm going over all 52. DC divided them into 7 categories, so I figure I'd make 7 videos. It's been a while since my last video. Some things have changed in the landscape of the DC New 52. Not all the titles are the same. Some titles have been canceled. Some new ones have been introduced. But I'm going to stay the course and go over the original DC New 52 that they premiered back in September. And I'll let you know if I am telling you about one that's been canceled, because even if a book has been canceled, you can still buy the paperback collection of the first and the only 12 issues that exist of it. Tonight we're looking at the Green Lantern books, and this is a good time to be into Green Lantern because right now you have the cartoon on Cartoon Network, and of course everyone saw the big screen Green Lantern movie that came out last year starring Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. Hopefully that movie gave you a little taste of how cool Green Lantern can be. So we're just waiting on the sequel now. But we don't have that much to go over in this video because there's only 4 books in the Green Lantern category. Only 4 Green Lantern books. And you hear a concept like Green Lanterns and you think that could easily support like 10, 20 books, but they managed to squeeze everything into just 4 titles. So those must be jam-packed.
Green Lantern.
The other 3 Green Lantern books are sort of offshoots into the Green Lantern universe, but Green Lantern is just the basic Green Lantern book. And who is the main Green Lantern? I thought it was Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is the one everybody knows. It's the one from the movie. But apparently there was something last year called the War of the Green Lanterns. And at the end of it, Hal Jordan killed someone or something. So the Guardians wanted to punish him. So they took away his Green Lantern ring. So he's not the Green Lantern anymore. The person who took over as Green Lantern for Hal Jordan is Sinestro. Sinestro is the guy who is Green Lantern's villain. In the original comics, Sinestro was originally a Green Lantern, but then he turned evil and he put on a yellow ring. The single most iconic Green Lantern villain is Sinestro, but he came back to be a Green Lantern. I don't know how or why that happened, but seems a little confusing to have a movie and a TV show starring Hal Jordan, and then when kids go out to buy the comic book, they say, hey, may I have the new Green Lantern? Here you go. Oh my god, it's the main villain who I hate, and now he's Green Lantern. What this is like is like if you were dating someone and you broke up, you start to realize what an awful human being they are. And then later on, you kind of hook up and you have sex and you hate them, but you keep having sex with them. So you're engaged in a long-term arrangement where you both give each other benefits, but you're not friends with benefits. You're like exes with benefits. You have sex with a person you don't like because you had sex with them before, so you can just have sex with them again. And you could find someone else to have sex with, but you already had sex with this person. So even though you hate them, just keep having sex with them, because since you already had sex with them, you could just do it again. And they feel the same way about you. I think that's the best analogy I can come up with for Sinestro rejoining the Green Lanterns.
Green Lantern Corps.
Alright, so I'm going to show you how the donation system works for these videos. What you do is you pull up PayPal, and then you put in the email address, and you send me $3. And then I can use that money to get an issue of the book to put into the next video, and you can make special requests. You can ask to donate a book that is like a weird, sexy book, or like just a standard meat and potatoes book. I want your contributions to reflect your personality. And I don't know what's going on with a person who might donate a book like this. Because you have Green Lantern. That's the book about the main Green Lantern. And this book is Green Lantern Corps. And this is about all the other Green Lanterns in the universe. So you have Guy Gardner and John Stewart. And these are just two other Green Lanterns that come from the planet Earth. And then all these other guys. The Green Lantern Corps is like a space police. They protect the entire universe. One sector of the universe, the one slice of the universe that Earth is in, is under the protection of like one or two Green Lanterns. I don't really understand what happened in this book. I find most Green Lantern books to be incomprehensible. And I mean, they're written in English, and I understand the words, most of the words as I read them, but I don't get it. I just don't really understand the parts with the actual Green Lantern adventures. Like when they're out in space and you just have all these Green Lanterns talking. The basic thrust of this issue is there's like a mysterious unseen figure who is like killing Green Lanterns and also killing entire populations on planets. So it's like a genocidal mystery character who hates Green Lanterns and can kill them. And so Guy Gardner and John Stewart and all the other Green Lanterns have to figure out what it is. I didn't like this book because I couldn't even make it relevant to my life as a metaphor for anything. Because I never have to deal with a mystery genocidal force that has a vendetta against a team that I'm in. Actually, no. It's just the most literal Green Lantern story you could ever imagine. What do Green Lanterns do? They fly around imaginary outer space, shoot each other with rings, and a lot of them get mutilated and killed. It's like Space Wars. It's like the Space Wars movies. If you're reading this and following the story and you're invested in it, like you buy it issue to issue because you want to know what's going to happen, then you're not reading because you're seeking insight or truth into anything in your life. You just want to read something. Like, you know how when you have a bag of Famous Amos cookies and it has the bio written on the back? Or when you have a bottled water and it has the thing about how the water comes from a mountain spring? You know how when you read those things, there's a small bit of pleasure that you never think about that comes when you take a few seconds to read that, because it just makes all the empty feelings go away. And that's sort of what this book did for me. It filled my head with neutral thoughts of things happening, and when I finished reading it, everything in my life was the same except it was slightly later in the day. I like the part about Guy Gardner applies for a job at a high school to be a coach, and the person interviewing him says, well, you can't be a coach here because you're a Green Lantern. What if there's an emergency? You're going to leave the kids who need you to be their coach so you could go fight the emergency? And he's like, no, I won't do that. But what is he talking about? Whatever he means by that, he's an awful person. I just wish the whole book was about that, about Guy Gardner and John Stewart dealing with their day-to-day lives on Earth as Green Lanterns. But when it starts to be like this, like what the fuck is this? What am I supposed to think about this? Look at that. Is that Oa? Show me what the community is like on Oa. Let's spend some time on Oa. Let's hang out there. Let's not just... Oh, we all have to take off and go into space to investigate this. Oh, no, this... No, not this. This bad thing that happened. And now I'll just wait. Next month we'll find out more about this. But I don't care because I don't know what this planet was. I want to know about Guy Gardner working at a high school. Who is that? Who's that one? Who's that one? I want to see these two go on a date. What about her? What? Who is this? What? And this guy? These two should be like partners and they get into arguments. Let me get to know these ones instead of just like a space mystery. No, instead, here's some Green Lanterns, I don't know, getting killed. Look, they die, and then the ring, when you kill a Green Lantern, their ring flies away to find a new Green Lantern to take over for that ring. So you always have the same amount of Green Lanterns. The first issue should have been me spending the whole day with a really cool Green Lantern, and then you can have the unseen bullshit villain come and kill them and have some pages of that investigation. What is this there? Is that a monkey?
Green Lantern New Guardians.
Green Lantern New Guardians is about a special team of 7 lanterns, and each lantern comes from a different lantern core, because there's something in DC Comics known as the emotional spectrum, and it has all the 7 colors of the rainbow, and each color corresponds to a different group of lanterns. So going through it, Roy G. Biv, you have the red lanterns, and they draw their power from the emotion of rage. So they're like bad guys. Then you have Agent Orange. That's like one guy. You can only have one orange lantern. That one is powered by avarice, or greed. And then there's an orange lantern core, but it's all constructs out of his ring. Then for yellow, their thing is fear. It's not the yellow lantern core, it's the Sinestro core. Because when Sinestro was a bad guy, he had the yellow rings. This was before they got the idea to make it all the colors of the rainbow. There was just green and yellow. So the yellow ones was just the Sinestro core. But now Sinestro is the main Green Lantern. So it's Sinestro as a Green Lantern fighting the Sinestro core, which is the yellow lanterns, but he's not in them, and they are not called the yellow lanterns. They're called the Sinestro core. Have you lost all interest by now? I'm just going to keep going. Then for green, it's the Green Lantern Corps, and they're powered by will. And then for blue, you have the Blue Lantern Corps, and they are powered by hope. But they can only be activated when there's a Green Lantern around. If there's no Green Lanterns nearby, then they're useless. Because you need will to power hope. That's kind of lame. I wouldn't want to be a Blue Lantern. Then there's something called the Indigo Tribe, and their thing is compassion. And I think they can like imitate powers of other lanterns. I don't know. Indigo is the dumbest color because it's like blue, but it's like a darker blue. No one ever refers to anything as indigo. And they're not even a corps, they're a tribe. No one wants to be indigo either, probably. Blue and indigo are really bad ones. Like red is cool, orange, I don't know. And then for violet, there was already a character in the DC universe who was kind of like a violet lantern. So they just took that character that already existed and they made her... Her name was Star Sapphire. So now, instead of having violet lanterns, you have Star Sapphires. So you just have to keep that straight. Red Lantern Corps, Agent Orange, Sinestro Corps, Green Lantern Corps, Blue Lantern Corps, Indigo Tribe, Star Sapphires. And their thing is love, because it's like for girls. So any girl who wants to play any sort of lantern, just make them be the Star Sapphires. And I don't know if they have any special powers. they shoot lasers. They all shoot lasers. So as you can see, there's one team member from every color in this team of New Guardians. And the Green Lantern in this book is Kyle Rayner. He was created in the 90s. If you read Green Lantern in the 90s, chances are good that he was the only Green Lantern back then. His thing was that he was like a creative artist, so his constructs were always like very visually interesting. So he was like the Green Lantern of the 90s. But now that Hal Jordan's back, they have to find something for Kyle Rayner to do. So they stuck him in this. They invented this team of all different color lanterns, and he's there. I don't know where this team is. I don't know what they do. I didn't read this book. So I found Green Lantern Corps kind of boring, and Green Lantern New Guardians seems kind of like the same thing, just a lot of lanterns fighting in space. But at least this has like a team of mismatched rogues that have to figure out a way to work together. So maybe there's some fun character stuff mixed in with all the space laser fights.
Red Lanterns.
So yeah, this book basically follows the Red Lantern Corps. And why, of the entire emotional spectrum of different color lanterns, why is it that the only group, besides the Green Lanterns, to get their own title is the Red Lanterns? And that's easy. It's because they're the coolest ones. First of all, just on premise alone, I like this because it's so rare to get villain-centric books. Like, they have this main monster guy who's like the head Red Lantern, and there's one who's a hot chick, but she's kind of creepy. And there's one who's just a human, and one of them is a cat. And it just seems like fun. It seems like they have a lot of great character designs, lots of scary, crazy characters. So the stories that you could get out of this, you know, putting aside the fact that it's just going to be more space bullshit. Like, if I was in a comic book store and someone put a gun to my head and said, you have to get a Green Lantern book, I mean, maybe I'd just tell them to pull the trigger. But then if they said, like, no, for real, you have to pick one for real, then I'd go with the Red Lantern book. Just because, you know, it's different. And different is good. Let's read about some fucked up assholes. Get into their minds, see what's going on, get some tragic tales. I like tragic tales. I like it when the main character or characters of a book is an outcast, someone who doesn't fit sexy, evil monsters. And that's it for my rundown of the DC New 52 Green Lantern comics. So if you feel like I did a good job and you like what I'm doing, you can give me $3 through the PayPal. Request any type of book you want me to review and I'll get it. Or another option altogether is take the $3, go to a comic book store, buy yourself a book that you think you might like, maybe even make a review and post it as a response to this video. And I will look at it if I have time. In the meantime, just stay tuned for the next videos. There's more categories coming up that are going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, no more Green Lantern books, but if you want more Green Lantern videos from me, let me know and I'll think of more Green Lantern related video content that I can provide. Because I could do any type of videos. There's certainly no limit to the potential of Lantern content.